Hello, I'm Michael Zotos and I'm the artist. I'm going to show you a little bit about my artwork in this video. This is my studio. I'm going to show you exactly what I do here. This is a piece of artwork that I completed. I begin each piece with what I call the spontaneous gesture. In this case, I made this form spontaneously. I simply took a marker and made the form. Okay, then I stop and I stand back and take a look at the form, and I add eyes, what I call interactively. I'm looking at it. As I add the eyes, it's looking back at me. Then I turn the entire thing into a picture or a scene. Sometimes I'll add an additional spontaneous gesture and do the same thing again. In this case, I did add this gesture because I just thought it corresponded and looked nice. I added heads to the top of each of these, and it flows. It has its own symmetry. Then I added various, what I call entities, creatures. That's what you have here, that's what you have down here. And then I added, basically I can add anything, any color, any shape, any size. You have the various arrows coming down as like a sun rays. And the entire picture, when it's finished, is something, in this case, it's something that I really like. This is a set of work that I did. What I did here was I made my spontaneous gesture in the large side over here, and then subsequently I went and made another spontaneous gesture here, adding the eyes to it in a different color. I'm looking at it. As I'm adding the eyes, it's looking back at me in both the smaller and the larger side. Then what I did was I turned the entire thing into its own picture or scene, adding various sizes and colors, basically anything that I feel like at the moment that I think looks symmetrical but yet gives it its own character and its own scene, and that's what you have. In this case, as I say, it's a set, so I added a second piece to correspond with the first piece. Of course, it doesn't match. There's no such thing as things matching in my work because it's all made freehand, free form. I live out on eastern Long Island, and I like to do the woodworking part of the artwork outside in my own yard where I can enjoy it. There are various tools that I use. Most importantly, of course, is the face mask to protect my eyes. And I use the circular saw for cutting the plywood. Then I use the belt sander for the heavier plywood edges, and of course the easy sander. I have two miter saws I use, the larger 10-inch for the heavy molding, and of course the 8-inch for most molding. I also have two Jorgensen clamps that come in very handy for the holding the molding to the artwork when I tack it down with the air staple. I cut various shapes of plywood backing with the saw, and then I sand the rough edges with the sander. I custom cut the molding for each piece of artwork. I choose a color for the molding and I give it 2 coats of paint. In this case, I'm painting it yellow.